Hi, it's Dave. I'm doing a story about Lauula.street. This is Lauula and this is Lures here. That's Kalakaua down there, and it goes along out of duty free down to Kuhia. This is the Aqua Oasis Hotel. Anyway, this is Lauula.street. Now, Lauula.street is owned by all of these property owners in common. I'll be posting some images on this story that I'm going to do on the newspaper about this street. Here's a picture of the Oasis sign that's been up here for years. This is the sign. Oddly enough, after this guy who put this sign up asked these people to take this sign down, and it's a corporate thing. He put his sign up, which I don't understand why he did that, because they don't let people park here. People park here, they park here on their own volition. So he's, I guess, trying to make money on towing. But my question to the Office of Consumer Complaints that I filed a complaint was, if you don't own this land yourself, individually, or have an agreement with all of these people, can a tow company tow cars that are here? You know, tow cars that are here. So what he's done is, a guy named the Chun brothers, Cedric Chun, I've forgotten his brother's name, they own a very small, as far as we know, from what the tax maps can say. From what we know, he owns
one's for you and one for her.
This lane here, down this road here. That's what Cedric Chun owns. That's it, that little bit. All of the rest of this is owned by all these property owners and the Ritz-Carlton. And this was I think the Ritz might own the park, but the parking lot on the other side of this park is owned by the city and county, and this is owned by a long-time family. Anyway, he owns, like, maybe, as far as we know, maybe 1% of the property. He has, as far as we know, no agreement with any of these people here. And so what he's doing is, originally he had, he's come along, this company called ParkLink, a guy named Tyler Zanz, S-A-E-N-Z, has this company, and he tries to be innovative and creative. It just takes, I'm sure he takes Mr. Chun at face value, thinking he can do this, and so he's renting out these marked off spaces. For a while, you can actually see where he actually striped the sidewalk to go up on the sidewalk to park, and I don't know what happened, but they can't do that. So anyway, he went to this, so it just runs along the length, Eva to Diamond Head direction. What I understand is that someone said that Cedric seems to think he owns 35% of this street, of both sides that he owns there. So you have all that property down there from all these individual property owners, which we can't see his name on anything but except for that. And the Aqua, this is like Ritz-Carlton. Ritz-Carlton probably owns 45% of the property, which was right. But if for him to own 35%, he would have to own, like, everything from down there at Moose McGillicuddy's over to about here, which he doesn't, as far as we know. Anyway, they're towing cars, and so what I filed the complaint was, can you tow cars and have a contract to tow cars if you don't own the property? He's charging this guy rent. Anyway, as far as we know, he's keeping, and what we've heard from, I won't say, that he's keeping all the revenue for himself and sharing some revenue agreement with Mr. Sands for this ParkLink thing. Anyway, so I filed a complaint with the DCCA, Department of Consumer, whatever it is, and the Office of Consumer Protection last week, asking them to determine, there's HPD has these rules, which I'll post a link, for tow trucks. Tow trucks probably, they took him at his face value. Allen's Automotive took him at his face value, but if you don't own the property and there is no agreement, which we're not quite sure, but we don't believe there is, from what I can tell from other owners who said there is no agreement, but that's from other owners, you can't tow. And I guess, and so for them to ask for the share of the revenue he's making, very little, from these parking, that they have to go to court on that. That's not a state issue. But the parking issue is the state issue. It's called deceptive business practices. So he's posted these signs, and we'll take a picture of the sign. Here's this beautiful park over here, by the way. If you're over on Lures, the Ritz-Carlton did this as part of the community give back. This used to be a dirt parking lot. There was a place called the Honolulu Hotel, which was on the other side of this, I believe. It was quite the place back in the day. Naughty people were there. Anyway, it's a beautiful little park. They were supposed to have shows. None of that's happening right now. But on the other side, there's a public parking lot, which no one's aware of because the signage is real small. And I don't think Ritz-Carlton wants working people into their fabulous hotel. A guy named Grossman is the guy who developed this and the Trump Tower. I forgot his first name. Anyway. And so maybe I'm going to be putting this on Waikiki Reviews. Little Mexican place. And he put this sign here. It says Allen's Automotive Assistance. So I guess Mr. Allen will be visited or called, if they haven't already, by the Office of Consumer Protection to verify that he's indeed towing, and I'm sure they're probably calling the police department to make a determination of, I mean, can you just go onto land that maybe you own a small share of and just start towing cars, taking revenue from the towing of the parking? That's a different issue that goes to the owners, but towing cars, and can that tow truck company or any tow truck company continue to do this on land that the person who contracted with them may not have but a small share of? We don't know. We'll find out. We're going to find out. But it's up to, here's the street again. It's up to OC, the Office of Consumer Protection, to find out what the rules are with HPD for tow truck companies. Because I think there would be some standards or proof that you would need to engage in towing on this is a private street. It's not a public street. It's owned by all these people. And, you know, so we'll find out what the answer is on that. But in the meantime, I don't know. It's kind of questionable. Not many people park here. It's not a real big deal, but it's very, very unusual. Anyway, just one of the more stories. The Chan brothers had this case that they lost, and they were trying to take all this property and do the same thing in Kaka'ako, and they lost a case in court. It took years. And so I don't think the owners want to go to court over this, because why bother? But you know, one of the big secrets of this, you guys know, and I'll post it. You know what they pay for that whole street in tax? 5 cents a year. 5 cents a year. That's all, which is why they don't want to go to court, because they don't want the city to find out how little they pay. That's a sweetheart deal right there. Anyway, and you all pay a whole lot more for like 15% of that. Anyway, they've gotten that deal forever. This place, I call it Clown Town. It is just like New York with Teapot Dome years. Anyway, here's Kalakaua. See you guys soon. Take care.